I'm Jeff of Schwartz Performance, and this is our September 2023 shop update video. Let's go see what we got going on in the shop this month. This 70 Charger is inching closer and closer to a test drive. However, we're still going to be waiting for those wheels to come back. Initially, they were purchased by the customer and they didn't fit, so they've been sent back some time ago to be refitted, I guess you'd say, or reconfigured so that they fit the car properly. Anyway, nearly ready to get started, and once we get it started, the next step is test drive, and we need wheels and tires to get on there. So that's where we're at on the 70 Charger. Let's move on to the next project. This 78 Mercedes 450 SLC is actually driven up and down the street and around the block now. Larry the tuner was in last week doing some little adjustments so that we could drive it. We put a big throttle body, a K-Tech 103 millimeter throttle body on the CNC ported blower on the LT4 engine, and that large throttle body created a little bit of a problem. So we had to do some initial adjustments on the tune in order to be able to drive it without the idle being inconsistent. So it's going to Larry for the final tuning, and then it'll be off to the upholstery shop. Much of the upholstery got done already. The dash and everything was all reupholstered, and we just have to finish off the door panels, headliner, and the rear area, back seat area, even though there's not really a back seat in there. So that's where we're at in this, getting close to the finish line. Wiring, and more wiring. But it looks like we're almost done on this 73 Le Mans. Looking forward to hearing this one run down the road real soon. This Mach 1 Mustang with the Illuminator engine and the Whipple charger now runs and drives. We got to just get some tires on there and make sure the brakes and everything are functioning properly. Then it's going back to the customer, and it's going to get a repaint and the interior put back together and finished up. This is that 70 Challenger that we've been fabricating on. All the fab work is now done. It's going out to be dipped. This will be just a light dip to get rid of any surface rust on there, and then it'll get E-coated. This is the one that we fitted the electric Corvette door handles and some other cool stuff on it. So it should be a fun car to drive. This is another Hellcat, this one with a T56 manual. Should be a really fun car to drive. I can't wait to see this one done. This is my 72 C10 that I've been working on for like about 6 years now. I know it looks like a 69. We were kind of experimenting with the 69 grill, but I think I'm going to go back to the 72 grill with the egg crate on here. As you can see, we fabricated some brake ducts here to mimic the headlight bezel, and then we've got a little opening in the valance that we fabbed for additional cooling air. We've got carbon fiber inner fender panels in here now, and I've got the throttle pedal mounted, and also I fabricated some bracketry to mount the Wilwood pedal assembly in there with master cylinders that are built into the pedal assembly. In this case, I used a Wilwood one where the master cylinder is inside the car, so we can maintain that nice firewall that we fabricated. So looking forward to getting this one into the paint shop. On this 64 Jag Mark II, we've completed fabricating this front bumper valance and the rear bumper. They're tucked in much more than the stock ones, and we've been working on getting the driving position finalized with respect to the shifter position, the pedal position, throttle pedal, brake pedal, and the steering column. So we previously had the owner come in and made sure that we had the seat position correct with respect to the steering wheel. Now we're dialing all that stuff in with the pedals and the shifter. So getting closer to the paint shop on this one as well. As you saw previously, this Hellcat powered Cuda has a chassis fitted to it. We've also done the mini tubs now and repaired some rust that we found in the floor pan and some other fabricated things like inner aprons in the front fenders. So that's all wrapped up now, and we're nearing the point of fitting the the chassis for the final time. We've done some work on this Charger to fit the large diameter tires that are going on it, so we had to make a little more clearance in the front apron area for those big tires. And then we're working on fitting drive shaft, doing some tunnel mods to it, making sure the trans tunnel clears the transmission and so forth. So progress continuing on that thing too. That is a Hellcat red-eye powered 66 Charger. We're mocking up the wood and the mini tubs on this 54 Chevy truck, and we're waiting for the big block Chevy to get here. So should be putting that in as soon as it gets here, and should be wrapped up with this in another week or so. Here's a G-body Cutlass that we're installing our G-Machine chassis in. We've had these chassis for probably more than a decade now, and it's a really great product. There's a YouTube video that I posted previously many years ago showing how much the stock chassis on a G-body flexes. It literally flexes like a wet noodle. So this is a great upgrade for this car. Incidentally, I also have a Cutlass similar to this one that I have yet to do something with. I do have a chassis set aside for it, but we'll see what that brings. But this one, we're going to do mini tubbing and we're installing the chassis, and then we'll see where we go from there. So this is that 632 powered big block Chevelle. This is the new GM crate engine that has over 1,000 horsepower on pump gas. As you can see, we installed a radically dropped base air cleaner on here. It almost covers the throttle body. This is the most drop base air cleaner you could possibly put on here. And there's a slight bulge here because you need to have room for the air to pass down into the throttle body. So this is the lowest profile air cleaner we could possibly put on here without restricting horsepower. And if you look at that, the hood, where the hood level is here, there's probably almost a foot room, between at least 10 inches to 12 inches from here to the hood line. So I know we're trying to do a hood scoop that kind of blends in and doesn't look real tall. I don't think there's any way that we can build something that looks sleek when you got this height underneath the hood. So we'll see where this goes. So we wrapped up the custom console on this Mustang convertible. It's got the vintage air controls integrated into it, along with the power window switches and a couple of cup holders. Got some nice little trim on there, aluminum trim that'll blend in well with the other Mustang factory bezels and things on the dash. It should look like it belongs there. We're continuing to get chassis out the door. This is a Corvette chassis that Tyler's putting brake lines on, and this one's due to get picked up next Friday. That's all we have for this month. Be sure and hit that subscribe button and tell your friends to check out our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Have a great month, and we'll see you next month.